Hi, it's Jane Jackson. I'm a consultant based near Silverstone. I've been a consultant for about 7.5 years now. Today in this little clip, I just want to talk about what I do at that very first appointment, creating the right environment and starting to strengthen the relationship with your client literally from day one. So the first thing that happens with me, whether I'm seeing them face to face or virtually, I will always ask my favourite question, and if they're in the office I will always say to them, so Sarah, or whatever the lady's name is, tell me what's brought you to the sofa today. And at that point I will then shut up. The most important thing here is all about building rapport with your client, so it's about be quiet, not listening to speak, but actually listening to hear. And that's a really important distinction. Listen to what she says. Some people will tell you their whole life story. It might take them 20 minutes. Give them the time and space to unload, because you're building rapport and building trust during that process. Some people might tell you in 2 minutes, so that's fine. So that's the most important thing, that you listen to them. That then leads on to the second point. When you've listened properly, the most important thing is that maybe you reflect back to them something that they said. So if they said to you, oh, I've done Slimming World, you know, lost the same 6 or 7 pounds 10 or 20 times, which often seems to be the case. But one of the things that they really enjoyed about Slimming World was that whole group vibe thing. Then you know exactly how you need to tailor your pitch. It might be that they say, I really like the opportunity to eat with my family in the evening. In that case, it's unlikely that they will be a client who will stick and do particularly well just on socials. So start talking to them maybe straight away about step 2. Similar, if they've said that they like that vibe, talk to them about the amazing online community that we've got, the recipe share pages if they're going down the step 2 route. Some of the bigger consultants who've perhaps got Instagram followings or whatever else, and draw them into the whole of the community and the support structure that is in place. So active listening will enable you then to tailor how you present the plan to that specific client. Again, this helps to build rapport. So if you do your job properly, there'll never be any question that someone will come in and sit on your sofa or have a video call with you and not go away as a client. I've been a consultant, as I say, for about 7.5 years, and I think in that time I've had 2 clients who've come to see me who haven't walked out of the door with product as clients. So the third thing then is the last thing that I ever show a client, you can probably see in my office here, I've got this big cupboard behind me, and the very last thing that I do once I've established what it is perhaps that they've tried in the past, if they say to, and I'll say to them, what have you tried before? And they might say, oh, well, you know, I've done Slimming World and I've done Weight Watchers. Another really good question to ask them is, what was it that you liked about those plans? And also, what was it that you didn't like? So if they say, oh, I really didn't like having to go, you know, and everyone's clapping because Sarah's lost 1 pound this week, again, you can focus very much on the one-to-one support that you were going to offer. So asking just a couple of key questions and active listening are really, really key. And the very last thing that I do once I've established what plan they've been on, I've filled out an EPRF, I've spoken to them about how I'm going to support them. The very, very last thing that I do is I go over there and I open the cupboard and I show them what they're going to eat. Because really, as I always say to clients, this is a 3-way thing. They are the driver, I am the sat-nav, and the products are simply the vehicle that are going to get us from where they are now to where they want to be. Don't focus on the product. If you do your job properly, they'll be so bought into you because you've listened to them, you've nodded, you've been sympathetic, you've understood their dilemma, you've come up with a plan that's going to suit them. Really, what they're going to eat is almost not relevant. So don't lead with the product. The other thing is, because you'll have now been with them for maybe 45 minutes, what I tend to find is when I open the cupboard and start saying, oh, you know, let me talk to you about this, there'll be something, usually will give them a product sample to try. It might be a latte, it might be a bag of bites. Always pick something that you know is fantastic. If that's their first experience of trying a one-to-one product, you want it to be a positive one. So that's then what I would do. And what's really interesting is at this point, maybe 1 in 10 clients will say to me, how much is it? Because really, if I've done the job properly and I've got them on board and I've listened, the cost becomes very, very secondary. If you were to ask any one of my clients how much they spend a week or roughly what their bill was, they probably couldn't tell you, because they're much more interested in the support, the journey that they're going to go on with me, and how we're going to get to goal. Those are the things that I focus on. And just to wrap up, because I don't want this to be too long, the final thing that happens, I will then explain to them how I'm going to support them. For me, I will always say, I'm not going to be one of those consultants who sends you a motivational message every